Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Mud Garage YouTube channel. Today we are continuing the turbo build on the C10, and I already have the turbo out. We are going to be welding the wastegate in today. Hopefully get this thing started if I can figure my tune out enough. But the turbo sits right here, obviously, and I'm going to put this hole saw right through there. Right before the turbo is where this wastegate's going to be going up through. So we're going to be doing that, and the turbo oil supply I finished up. It's got a ridiculous manifold thingy going on back there. I'll put a picture in right here, but that oil line is hooked up to oil supply, comes into here to the top of the turbo, and my fitting with a restrictor in it to slow the oil down, and then my whopping drain tube. There's a couple other little things I had on my list here. Blow off valve, intake air temperature sensor bung, which I have. Turbo oil supply line, that is done. I'm going to cross that off. We're working at the wastegate. I need to check the timing with the timing light, see if I can figure that out once we get it started. But yeah, there's just a host of things here: bump stops, carpet, shifter boot, fans, front shocks. So a bunch of stuff that needs done yet, but we're focusing on engine stuff today. Hopefully we can get it running. I do have exhaust pieces as well to start the exhaust. Obviously with the wastegate we're gonna have to have some pieces. I think I got everything here I need for the exhaust to go out the back. This is for the wastegate. Gonna come off the wastegate and go straight down into the turbo, and I'll show you that a little bit more later. Gonna have a 3-inch downpipe from the turbo down to the transmission, and then once it goes flat at the bottom there beside the transmission, it's going to switch to 4, and it's going to go all the way out the back at 4-inch. So I may even have something decorative at the back, or exit it like up in so you can't really see it, just it'll be pointing down. We'll see. I kind of like the look of the clean back end without no tailpipes. Well, that wasn't funny. Flung off the camera right off, but I guess she's all right. All right, so I got my wastegate out, 47mm wastegate, and I got this is the flange for the bottom. It's the bigger one, and I got a little piece of pipe, and I'm gonna weld this on here first, and then we're gonna bolt the wastegate on. And made my hole, slip it down in here, and trace a marker around the outside so we know how to cut this thing, and then we'll weld that up. Okay guys, we got this welded on here for the wastegate. So what I'm going to do next is put the turbo on, because this, if I put the wastegate on now, I won't be able to get to my bolts for this. So I'm going to mount the turbo right now, and we'll jump into a time lapse. This wastegate on. Some light on the situation here. See, my coolant lines are going away just a little bit, which is okay. We will get those. Let's clamp it in here. Wow, does that ever look good? Okay, now we're ready for the downpipe. Since I hook the oil lines up and get that other clamp put on down there. Okay, wow, we are making some nice headway here. I've got some downpipe going on. Looks pretty sweet. The turbo is not sitting exactly square with the engine block. That's the only thing that bugged me a little bit. So I had to cut a little bit of an angle. You can kind of see it there. Back further, you see it? But this pipe I wanted straight with the header. So it's straight there. And if you look on this side, it looks flat with the header there. So the turbo is sitting just a little off of straight. Kind of see it tweaked just a little bit, which doesn't really bother me. I was trying to get clearance for the radiator and get away from the battery at the same time. So I had it just off a little twitch, which didn't make a big problem. We just had to cut this at a little bit of an angle and weld it crooked, which I think it looks better now. But so the wastegate pipe, where did I lay that thing? It's gonna go like that, straight into the, so yeah, this is gonna be shorter. Probably dump it in right there. It's a little pipe just like that. It's gonna be so cool. So what I'm gonna do now is get it jacked up, and this thing is so low to the ground I can't get a jack under it. I'll show you here in a minute how I do it with a forklift, but as I lower this thing, I can't get any kind of floor jack in there. The ones I have up here are made for big trucks, and so they're not really low enough. Bottom A-arm literally is 4 inches off the ground, if not lower. So got a little bit of almost scrapage going on here. But anyway, we're gonna get this thing jacked up on stands so I can roll under it with the creeper and get the piece from here down fitted up before I weld this solid here. Okay, wow, check this out. I got this downpipe done, fabbed up. All we got to do is weld it solid. So, the only thing I don't like, the wastegate and turbo are tied together pretty tight with the pipe, and I think it's gonna strain the housing on the wastegate or the turbo for that matter, with the heat and expansion and everything. So I'm gonna buy a flex coupler and just cut a piece out of here for a flex coupler, and I don't think they're very long. I think they're kind of short actually, so that'll sit right there, and then that way I can get this on and this will kind of be independent. But we're gonna cue a time lapse and get into welding this thing up. Well, we got a decent amount done today. It looks really good in the engine bay here. Got the wastegate put on, downpipe, turbo oil feed line got put on, the conjunction back there of stuff This thing here has a bracket down on the transmission, and so that means this whole thing rotates with the engine. There's going to be a flex coupler right after that mount that the exhaust will hinge on, because the exhaust going back is going to be mounted to the truck frame with rubber hangers or whatever. So that's going to stay positioned when the engine is under load and flexing up here. So I'll need a flex joint for down there. I just ordered it from Summit, and I got a flex joint for right here. So it's like 2.5 inches long, so it's gonna be like right here, and I think they look so cool. But it's a vibrant stainless steel, like accordion flex joint, and I had to get that from Jegs because Summit didn't have it in stock, so it should be here next week. So the only thing I didn't get put in was the oxygen sensor bung. We'll get that next week, hopefully. And the blow-off valve is coming next week, so we will get that put in the intake tube at that point. So got a couple things knocked out today. Feel pretty good about what I got done, and we're gonna call it a day. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next video. Have a great night.